What if I told you 3,000 years ago a secret hidden island was created with vast rivers and waterfalls, home to only the Amazons of myth, a place no man has ever set foot on? Would you believe me? This is the story of Diana Prince. Welcome to Origin. One day, Hippolyta, queen of the Amazons, started to sense something big was about to happen. She goes to nbsp, the oracle of the Amazons, to find out what was about to happen. She tells Hippolyta that all the Amazons are reincarnations of women that were killed years ago, and that out of all of them, only her was pregnant at the time of her death. The feeling that she was getting was the call of her unborn daughter, and for her to go to the shore and kneel at sunrise. The queen does as commanded, and once at the shore, a form washes up to her from the clay of Paradise Island. She then forms her an image of a daughter. The gods and goddesses, Demeter, Aphrodite, Athena, Artemis, Hesita, and Hermes, then all grant her daughter special attributes. Then, out of the sky, a great light shines down on the queen, and her daughter, Diana Prince, is born. Years go by, and Diana grows into being the most powerful, smart, and caring of all the Amazons. One day, a scream can be heard across the entire island. It was the oracle. She had just had a vision from the gods. She demands the queen come as quickly as possible. Once the queen arrives, she tells her of the vision. Ares, god of war, has gone insane and has multiplied 1,000-fold, is being drawn to some terrible power within man's world. The queen asks what the power is, but she doesn't know. But with it, Ares will consume the earth and even Paradise Island. The queen asks if the gods can help, but she responds with no, and that they must choose a champion among them, the best among them, who shall prove herself through a tournament and the trial of flashing thunder. She alone can save us, and she alone shall face Ares in the world of man. Diana overhears about the tournament and asks her mother for permission to enter it. The queen responds with no, because she was just a child. Diana begs her by saying she was an Amazon and that she wore the marks like all of her sisters. The queen tells her that she had no intention of losing her daughter, and so the answer was no. Diana goes to try and beg again, but her mother tells her that she was the queen and her mother, and that she has spoken. Later that night, Diana is alone, wondering why her mother won't let her be in the tournament. She begs to the gods of Olympus that she yearns for more from her life than to stay on Paradise Island forever. She then hears a voice out of thin air that says, "Diana, and purpose you shall have. The time has come." The next day, the tournament begins. 200 of their finest warriors line up to compete in the tournament. The queen has commanded them all to wear helmets that cover their faces in order for them to hold nothing back against each other. The salute is given, and the tournament begins. All through the day, Amazons try and prove themselves as the best warrior of them all. But one stands out from the rest. She is the keenest of eye and the most fleet of foot, and her might is beyond compare. On the final day, this Amazon has proven to be the best of all 200. Sister, you have proven yourself champion this day. Now, if the gods be pleased, you shall pass the final test, that of the flashing thunder. I reward you now these silver bracelets, said the queen. By them, all shall know you are the most worthy among us. Now, let us see your face, that we and the gods might smile upon it. The champion removes her helmet and is met with cries of surprise and amazement. It was Princess Diana. She tells her mother that she was sorry and that Athena herself spoke to her while she sat next to her statue, and that she knows what she did was right. The queen is furious and screams, "No, I forbid this." That's when the oracle tells the queen that she mustn't forbid it, and that the princess won her place rightfully, and that she couldn't fight the will of the gods. The queen allows it, and that night they take her to the temple of Hades. There lies the final trial, the flashing thunder. The oracle tells Diana that the flashing thunder is a secret and terrible part of their past. It has a great power which can destroy with but a single clip. She then asks if she still desires to face it. Diana replies by saying she isn't afraid. Philippus then opens the box that contains the flashing thunder and reveals it to the room. It is a modern-day pistol. She then points it at Diana and fires. In a flash, Diana is able to deflect the bullet by using her new gauntlets. In shock, Diana asks her mother what that was and where it came from. She replies by saying there wasn't time for tales of horror and that she was alive, and that's all that mattered. Diana then is given the armor she is so well known for, and finally proclaimed the champion of Paradise Island. Thanks again, as always, for listening to my podcast. It really does mean the world to me. Real quick, while you're still in the podcast app, hit that review tab and leave me a quick review. It really does help me out more than anything on here. So thank you for doing that. Also want to clarify a couple things. The original name for Themyscira was Paradise Island, and that's why I used Paradise Island. This podcast was based off the 1987 Wonder Woman comic, and in that comic, they called it Paradise Island. So I'm sure some of you guys were curious why I said that. Also, in 2011, DC did their rebirth, and basically, they changed up Wonder Woman's original origin story to having Zeus as her father. So they didn't do the forming from clay thing like I just did in this podcast. So if that seemed a little strange, that's why I did it. Because the original story in 1987 was that she was formed from clay. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast, and I hope I clarified some of those questions you may be thinking of. As always, if you want to keep up with everything Origin, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Origin_podcast, and on Facebook at Origin Podcast. Also, if you want to join our Patreon and get instant access to Patreon-only posts, episode transcripts, and bonus episodes. Join our Patreon at patreon.com/originpodcast. Once again, thank you for listening. You guys have really made this podcast blow up. And we'll see you in 2 weeks.